Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. In these next few videos, we are going to be adding reloading to our game. So in this video, this is mainly going to be the math behind it. So getting our current ammo to decrease whenever we shoot our gun, getting the game to understand like if we have 0 bullets in the magazine to automatically reload, and just do different stuff like that. And then in future videos, we're going to actually add like sound effects and an animation and those types of things. So to get started in this one, we're going to go inside of our weapon base, and we're going to create a decent amount of functions here. In between videos, there's a couple things I did. I mainly just added comment boxes around things and made some of this stuff look a little bit nicer. So here's our calculate line trace from the last video. So here's our bullet spread. The actors the line trace is going to hit, the ones that it'll ignore. So just some added stuff. I got rid of those other 2 local variables because I don't think we're going to use them, but we do need them as inputs. We just don't need to set them as variables. And then I ended up getting rid of this weapon socket variable because for my project at least, every single socket is going to be muzzle flash. But if you want to use different weapon meshes that I'm using in the future, you definitely would want to set that as a variable so that any child of this weapon base, you'll be able to dynamically set that every single time. But I manually put it in. I think that's it. Other than that, I put some of our variables into different categories to keep them organized. And like I said, you can set this to be a variable if you'd like to as well. I just didn't because for simplicity's sake, every line trace weapon is going to be that distance for now. Okay, so I think that's everything. And yeah, we can get started. So let's start out by creating a function, and we'll call this reload calculation. This will be controlling the math that we're doing here. For this, we're going to need a couple more variables to add to this ammo data, which is what I named it. So let's add a variable, and we'll call this, because we don't have this, magazine size. This is going to be of type integer. All these will be integers. So we have magazine size, and then we need one called bullet difference. I think that's it. We can drag those into a category. If you don't want to use categories, you certainly don't have to. Just like if you open up a child, if you have them in categories, then they will show up into these own little categories. If you don't do this, then they'll just be like one really long section there. So yes, let's get started out. So magazine size, this variable should always equal the current ammo. So our default is 30, so let's just set this to be 30. This is whatever just the size of our magazine is. This number is not going to change. The current ammo is going to change, but this is like the total. So our magazine size, let's get that. And let's get our current ammo. And we're going to subtract these. And then we're going to set this as the bullet difference. Okay. The way I'm going to create this whole function, then just explain kind of what it does after the fact. Pulling out a bullet difference, we want to get a less than or equal to integer. And we want to get the current total ammo. And then let's pull out a branch here. Okay. I'm trying to just think of like when and how to explain what this is exactly doing. Let's just go, let's just go out of the true branch for now. And let's set not current ammo. We're going to set that immediately for the true and the false. Excuse me. So let's grab magazine size and plug that into current ammo up here. And then we're going to get our current total ammo and the bullet difference. We're going to subtract these. Then we're going to set that as the new current total ammo. Like this. It looks pretty good. Okay, and then if this outcome is false, we want to grab the current ammo, the current total ammo, and we're going to add them together. And then we're going to set this as our current ammo, like such. And then we want to set our current total ammo to be 0. Okay, so what is all this doing? All right, so here comes the math. So stick with me for a second here. So we have our magazine size, let's just use 30. It's 30. So our magazine is 30, and our current ammo is also 30 for the time being. Let's say we shoot 5 rounds. Shoot off 5 rounds. So that means that this is 30 and this is 25. Subtract this, and then this equals 5. If 5 is less than or equal to the current total ammo, then we're going to do different things. So this current total ammo is a very large number. So more often than not, we're going to run this, and I'll just say runs when there is reserve ammo. So more often than not, this function is going, or this is going to be true most of the time, because our bullet difference is going to be relatively low numbers. The biggest number that this can be is, it would be 30 minus 0. So the biggest this could be would be 30. So this is only going to run to the bottom if we run out of reserve ammo. Okay, so let's just follow along the true branch for now. So we got this equals 5. 5 is less than or equal to 244. So we're going to run up here. Then our magazine size, which is 30, is going to be set as the current ammo. So in other words, this turned into 25. We're setting it back to the size of our magazine, which would be 30. And then we're taking our current total ammo, which is 244. We're subtracting it from the bullet difference, which in this case was 5. We shot off 5 rounds, and we're setting that as the new current total. So that would be 239. So what this is doing is it's updating the big number. So 12 in this case would be the current and also the magazine size. So it's taking that number, it's setting that back to the magazine size, which is going to be 12 in this case. And then it's just subtracting whatever that bullet difference was, how many rounds we shot off from that backhand small number, 144. Now, let's say that we run out of ammo, or we don't have a lot of ammo in reserve. In this case, we're just going to do that math. So we're going to take our current ammo, we're going to add it to the current total, set that as our current, because it won't equal the magazine size anymore, because it won't have a full magazine to give us back. And then it's going to set the current total ammo to 0 because we don't have any in the reserve. So this will run when reserve amount is lower than ammo in magazine. So this is the math it'll do when when you're running extremely low on ammo, essentially. All right, cool. Now we're going to do a couple of different checks. So let's create a new function, and we'll say is mag full or empty, like that, something like that. And let's pull out a branch out of here. And then let's grab our current ammo and our magazine size. And then we're going to check if these equal each other. Because we don't want to reload our gun if our magazine is completely full. So I don't know if we went and created this yet, but in our character, let's go here, and do we have a can reload? We don't. Okay, so let's create a can reload. This should be Boolean. I think it already was. Colors are hard for me. Okay, then let's grab our player reference, and let's set can reload to be false. because we don't want to reload. So we can say like disables reload if magazine is full or reserves are empty. We don't want to, we haven't actually put this can reload anywhere yet, but we will eventually. And if it's false, we won't be able to do that action event that we're going to set up. All right, and then we want a return node here. So we'll return the result of this. Yeah, we can just call this return value or something like that. And then plug the result of this into there. So we will return the value of this function. Okay. If it's false, we want to pull out another if. And we want to say, let's grab our current total ammo. And we want to make sure or check to see if this equals 0. All right, so if our current total ammo equals 0, we've run out of reserve ammo, then we're going to say that we cannot reload. Because we don't want to, we don't want to reload anything. We won't be able to reload if we don't have anything in the reserve, essentially. So this is like an extra fail-safe here, because there will be times where like the current ammo equals the magazine size, right? You have you've run out of bullets in your current total. This equals 0, but you have 30 and 30, so you can't reload. But let's say that you have like 5 bullets left and none in the reserve, so this will run through the false branch. But then this just ensures that you still can't reload, because you don't want to be able to pull ammo from nothing, essentially. But if this doesn't equal 0, if these don't equal each other and this doesn't equal 0, I know this can get kind of confusing, can it? We're going to set can reload again. And we're going to say, yes, we can reload. And then we're going to return that as well, like that. And then we'll say enables reload if magazine is empty, but ammo is left in reserve. So yeah, we can reload if we have reserve ammo. All right, all of that should work just fine. So there's that function right there. We've got a couple more to go. Let's create another function and say, do we have ammo? Question mark. This is going to be an easy one. And this is actually less with the reloading and just more with the being able to shoot our gun. So let's get our current ammo. And let's just say greater than. And let's return. We'll say has ammo as just the name of that. And return that value. So all this one is doing is occurs or allows shoot event to occur if player has ammo. So if our current ammo equals 0, we don't want to be able to shoot. That should be pretty straightforward, that one. Okay. And then we want to do one more check to see if there's ammunition left. So let's go ahead and do that now. So let's create one more function. I believe this is the last one. And we'll call this is there ammo left? There we go, typing so hard. And this is going to be really similar to the last one. So we'll get the current total ammo this time, and we'll say greater than 0. And let's return a Boolean and say is there ammo left, like that. Plug in that result like that. We'll return this. And then this one we'll just say like checks to see if there is ammo in reserves. So you won't want to be able to reload if there's no ammo in our reserve. So this will return true if our current total ammo is greater than 0. Okay. So we've got all those things done. So now all of these functions are created. So now we can start doing some stuff and actually making this work. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's head back to our start shooting function in our weapon base. And admittedly, there are a lot of steps to this. So it's gonna take a little bit of time before we get this thing totally working, but our functions are set up in place. So when we shoot, one thing that we wanna do is let's grab the current ammo and let's subtract 1 from that. And then set that as the new current ammo, like that. So we'll have it look something like that. And we can just say subtracts 1 bullet when firing weapon. So that's pretty straightforward right there. But we want our game to be able to distinguish and reload automatically if we run out of bullets, and also disable shooting. So let's get our current ammo again, and we will say less than or equal to 0. The reason I have a less than and not just equal to 0 is because it's like an extra fail safe that you can have there, just in case something weird happens and your bullets go to -1, it'll still run this off. And we want to create a new event to automatically reload our gun when we run out of ammo. So let's go into our event graph and create this event, and we'll create a custom event and we'll say auto reload on empty. All right, and then we can just go right back here. We can go to true. We can say auto reload on empty. So that's all set up. We can highlight this thing and we'll say automatically reloads when mag runs out. Something like that. Works just fine for me. So now we can do that. So now our gun's gonna automatically reload when we run out of ammo, but we gotta set that up, that event. So let's go ahead and start doing that. When I did this initially, I recognized this weird issue that would happen. So what we're going to do, we don't really have working reloading animations, and we want to be able to set them for specific times. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to have the weapon pull down out of the screen and then come back up. One thing that I realize is that when you shoot the last round of the sniper rifle, in particular, the weapon starts getting pulled down too quickly where your shot will miss, essentially. So your crosshairs will be lined up, you'll shoot, but the gun will start moving down the second that the current bullet equals 0, so that it'll start screwing you up. So we have to put in an extra little failsafe for that. So let's go ahead and grab the weapon type and say equals, and we'll check to see if we're holding the sniper rifle, and then pull out an if. So we want to do something slightly different if we have the sniper rifle, essentially. We can just say like sniper causes issues. So like goofy like that. I mainly am putting these comments here for you guys so you can kind of look back at the script and kind of understand exactly what all this is doing after the fact. So if we are using the sniper, we don't want to destroy it. We want to do a delay. And all we need is like 0.3 seconds. And this will make it less noticeable. And then we want to do a reload event. But once again, we haven't created that reload event. So let's go ahead back into our character and our player. And let's go ahead and create that right now. And you know what? After looking at that, I think I'm going to save that for another video. So I don't want to make this one too super long because this next reloading part is going to be a little bit lengthy. So I'm going to save that for the next one. So hope you enjoyed this video. We are moving along in this series. And yeah, hope you're enjoying it. And I'll see you in the next one.